Welkom allemaal bij de internationale bijdrage op deze Voor de Jeugddag. Mijn naam is Caroline Vink van het Nederlands Jeugdinstituut. En ook op deze dag met dit onderwerp wil ik jullie graag meenemen in wat inspiratie en lessen uit het buitenland rond het thema mentaal welbevinden. Want dat is niet iets wat alleen maar in Nederland op de agenda staat. Dus deze internationale sessie is in het Engels. En ik ga dus vanaf nu ook in het Engels verder. Ook om onze internationale gasten kennis te kunnen heten. So today we have inspiration on mental well-being from abroad. And for that we are turning to Finland and Iceland today. Because these two countries have been designated by the WHO as two countries that are very leading when it comes to prevention and mental health promotion. And so we thought we would start today with Finland. And for that we're going to turn to Miguel Reis in a minute. He's going to give us a presentation about a very interesting chat, and it's much more than that we still haven't really found the right translation for. It's called Sekasin, and Miguel said maybe it's mental, maybe it's confused, but we're going to hear all about that. So I really would like to give the floor to Miguel. Miguel, by the way, good morning, or although maybe it's almost afternoon in Finland. The floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. I think it's lunchtime in Finland, but good morning to all of you. I'm from Finland, Helsinki, Miguel Reis. I'm a chief of Sekasin chat, mental chat. I think the right word is confused, but we talk about mental chat. And it's under the umbrella of mental collective, which you see here in the screen, Sekasin Collective. Our mission is that no young person doesn't have to be alone feeling bad. I have worked about 20 years with children, youngsters, young adults at the children homes, at the boys' phone, which was, the boys call us and we were talking about them, about the reality of life and how thin line is to grow from boy to man and that kind of stuff. And now I'm working at the mental chat, which is all the youngsters, young adults who want to chat with us. As Calvino says, sometimes one who thinks himself incomplete is very young, and that's really true. Well, but about the mental collective, I just want to view full screen now. It's coordinated Union by Mieli Mental Health Finland, where I'm working with. We also have Finnish Red Cross, Finnish Federation, Settlement Houses and Children's Village. So we have 4 big NHO here in Finland, non-government organizations. Our network by Young Helpers that consists of over 15 operators all over the Finland, also the church and the big towns, the little towns. Sorry, I'm just giving my screen better. And we have also volunteers big amount of volunteers with us. There's hundreds of volunteers working besides professionals, and also the professionals chatting. And we are supporting young people's mental health and difficult situations in life by keeping up mental chat and a mental gaming community in Discord, which is Discord gaming. They are helping the youngsters there when they are playing and chatting about things. So the main thing at the mental chat is that we chat young people, youngsters, young adults, whatever they want to chat. And 2020, when the corona hits, our amount of contacts increased from about 25%. And the amount of conversation increased about 50%. It was a huge increase for the context and the conversations. So before the corona, we have the youngsters who were feeling bad and who have mental problems. And then we get the corona and we get more youngsters who get its effect for they life in school, in what is happening with this. And so we have amount of contacts in 2020 because we are a little country, Finland, about 5 million. And we have 15 to 29 years old, about 900,000. So it's a big amount of youngsters who trying to chat with us. So the corona hits and the youngsters get more and more to chat with us. I have to tell the story about how we think that we have to chat with the youngsters, because there was and there still is a drama series which is from Finnish broadcasting company Yle. And then they were how to use the drama series, social media, chat services, gaming to promote youth mental health. And the main thing was that our suicide is a cause of death. It's high, and so they want to speak about the mental health, the issues, and that the stigma wasn't so much. So there were a mental story of the 4 young people who all end up the same psychiatric ward. And now we have the season 3 here in Finland, who tells the story about the immigrants, about the refugees who have, and the racism who affects of the young people, young adults. And it's big thing in Finland that we speak about the mental health issues also in the immigrants, the young adults there. So there was a drama series, Sekaisin, Confused, and constructive journalism, radio, press, YouTube, Instagram, influencers who tell their stories about mental issues and so on. And then it was used in Finland. But talking about it isn't enough, because the teenagers don't know where to find help and really receive it until problems escalate. So we were thinking about chatting the youngsters, because it's easy way to chat. I think almost all the youngsters 20 to 12 to 29 years old have their phones, so they can chat where they want, even in the school with history lessons. But we are open every day, Monday to Friday, 9 to 24, Saturday to Sunday, 15 to 24. And that's a big thing too, because we are one big line where they came and they don't try to see if this chat is for me or is it open, because we have a amount of chats here in Finland, but they are open 2 hours a day. So here we have one line when they can come to us and getting chatted. It's free of charge, of course, and anonymous. So the youngsters tell us what they want to tell, not that we are expecting something about them. And we have volunteers, we have professionals all over Finland. And it's solution-focused approach. We are not doing therapy, of course not, because we have a one-to-one chat about 45 minutes. And then we must solution-focused approach, because we are just listening what they have in their mind or their hearts, or what they want to tell us. If they are feeling bad, they are feeling bad. That's our job to take that. It's in my phone. It's technology. So there you see the contacts and helpers from 2017 to 20 this year. So it has increased every year. The red is the chat we can reach every year, and the blue one is who were in the line but not reach the chatter. So as I said, we had no one. So it's a huge amount of youngsters who can't chat, because we don't have so much volunteers that we can take all the youngsters by day. But that's what we are working for, to reach about 50%. I don't know how much we can reach, but it's now under 20% what we can get from the line. It's not much enough, I think. So there are the reasons what they contact when they chat to us. Often reasons for contacting is feeling bad, and there is anxiety, there is depression, also eating disorder is a big thing also. Then, of course, relationships. They are youngsters. They are just in so relationships with others, relationships with family, relationships in school, lying, of course. Suicidal thoughts, about 10% every year, 11 at 2020. It's, as I said, it's a huge thing, because it's belong to how they grow up, the teenagers, the suicidal thoughts, and also there are just suicidal attempts, and we are trying to help them with that kind of situations. Problems with surviving everyday life, and when the corona hits, it was huge with the school. The schools were closed, and the places for the youth were closed. So all they didn't see each other, and it was a big thing. And there are different kinds of these kind of things belong with the teenagers, the young adults, every day. so they can chat with us with these kinds of problems. The many contacts also from the young adults, as you can see, 20 to 24 is the biggest age of people who contact us, and youngsters, of course, there are huge amount of contactors, but I think it's the main reason is because we have the open so widely, and they can just get in the line and don't think about where we can chat them or who is in the other side of the chat. Is it the little towns nurse or something? So there are no much of chat services about young adults under the 18 years, below the under 18 years. So we reach about 20 to 29 year olds, and under the 12 years old are under 1%. The gender it's interesting because it's more than 70% who are identified them to women, and only under 20% who are identified them to men. And then, of course, there are the others who are not identified them at these two gender. So it's a big question why why they are so big amount of human here who are contacts us. I don't have an answer, but it's interesting. We have also asked our chatters how the chatting support their everyday worries, provide information and new point of view. This is in Finnish, I have to translate it. We do it 2 times for years, and I think it's every year about these procents, what they are telling us. This 31% is that I have reached solutions with my problems or situation. 22% is that the talking in chat has given me some perspective in my situation. I'm not alone with these thoughts, and that I can talk this kind of feelings. And 40% have a feeling that this is how support me in my daily life. And 90% says that I have given concrete help and support. 7% says I have given information what gives me to how to get from here or how to get help if I want some therapy or some kind of help which it's not reaching in the chat. 10% have said that it's not helping their situation, and 1% only says that this gives me more anxiety of chatting. 4% says that I have difficulties to write about my thoughts, and it's also interesting because when I was working on voice phones, also they say that it's difficult to speak in phone about my situations. So there are amount of youngsters who feel that it is difficult to speak about these things, even we are anonymous, and they can chat with us. Then there was the mental gaming Discord, which is new kind of thinking how to reach the youngsters, young adults, because they are at this point the biggest server platform in Finland. They reaches the young men that are dangerous to become marginalized. Nearly 50,000 members. I think they are over it at this point of, and they have also increased their members year by year. The 14,000 is the server members, and 10,000 is who came in 1 year in 2020, and there are also who have lost they are not in the platform anymore, and then there are about thousands a year who they have to give a yellow card or red card, so they are trolling or bullying all the other youngsters, so they have to say that this is not the kind of platform where you can do that, or so you have to be like the others or you have to leave it. So that's the Sekasin Gaming Discord, which is they are doing a great job there, because when you have that kind of if you have so many young men in one platform, it's nice that they can behave also and support each other, and that's the main thing there, I think. This is not so important. It's what we are under the mental collective, because we are so big, so we operate independently, and Satu Raapana is our leader, and we have co-organizations and support. So this is not that just show how to that we are big under the mental collective, because we have so many volunteers, we have so many organizations who are trying to help the youngsters. So there it is. I think my presentations. I think that the thing that we have to do now before the corona, it's give the young people the hope that we are doing, that we are surviving this, because there are amount of youngsters who are still in the bad situations. Thank you very much for getting me to speak here.
Thank you very much, Miguel. I think it's very interesting, because Sekasin Mental has been existing for a long time, but you started your presentation with giving the data, the numbers of this enormous increase during the corona time, the pandemic that we've all been going through. It was a little bit different in Finland, maybe with some of the measures, than here in the Netherlands, but you're focusing at young adults, so the 18 plus,
yes.
And you saw an enormous increase. And we also experienced that here in the Netherlands, and that led to also an initiative that I think would be interesting to share. Because of that, I would like first to give the floor to Dominique Brekke from Alles is OK, because I think it was a similar response to what you saw during Corona. And I think it will be very interesting to hear about it. And then I'm also sure that Dominique has a question for you, Miguel.
Yes, thank you very much. First of all, thanks for your presentation, Miguel. I saw a lot of things that are really in common with the way that we work. As said, I'm working for freely translated everything okay, a support line. It means as well as the question how you doing, really open, really opening for the youth to tell what they want. We're an initiative from the Kindertelefoon, well known maybe for a lot of people who are watching. And we started this April 2020, with our support line for youth. We're focusing on the ages of 18 to 24. So a little bit different than the ones that Miguel described before. And what we're doing is we're chatting and we're telephoning, to say. So we're doing a bit of both. And we see that the youngsters that contact us in the beginning, it was found of a Corona helpline. We heard a lot about the problems that the youth will get, and the situations where they're in, that they would be very lonely. Maybe schools are closed, and everything that was with it will give a lot of problems. So in that light, we founded the Everything Okay support line. And we see now that there's a lot of people that are finding us. We had almost some more than 6,000 contacts, so chat and telephone. And the reasons why people contacting us is, I have it here, so I'm watching there. But mostly of the reasons are emotional problems. It's over more than 40%. Relationships, home and work, study, and everything with body and health issues. So almost the same as Miguel described. It's not only Corona-related problems. We saw a big peak there, but it's also a lot of different things that the youth is challenging of. So also, like love, and when you get out of a relationship, but how do you do dating in times of Corona? How do you find a house? Study question choices. Is it okay for me? Are schools opening again? And how do I get in a group with people I don't know? So a lot of normally issues, you could say, where people where the youth is challenging of. So that's one of the things that I also have the question for you, Miguel, is we saw this peak. We saw that there was a lot of new things that came from Corona, but it seems now that it's also a little bit stabilizing in just all the different things that the youth is challenging of. Is that also what you experience in your line, that there is somebody has asked from, do you see an increase in the numbers every year? How does it come? What do you think that? What do you see about that?
It's a difficult question because I don't know what's in the mind of who are in the line, but it's something is telling about us from how they are feeling, the youth, the young adults, about the time, about the world, about themselves, because it's increasing year by year. Of course, there is a limit. I know that, but it's an amount of youngsters who are feeling bad, and we have to take that seriously. And you describe it so nicely about the Corona, what was happening about their minds, about the young mind. It was a big thing about the young people. It's so different from me about 1 year, 1.5 years. But the 1 year at the youngster's life, it's like, it's so big thing that we have to take it seriously. And the loneliness is a big thing. It's not showing the data how big is, because I think it's so obvious about the youngsters that I'm alone. I don't have anybody at here, not my parents, not my friends. It's a huge thing in Finland, the loneliness, and it's increased now in Corona time. That's one thing we have to remember here in Finland. I think that there are youngsters who are just so alone. It's but something is happening here. I think also because we have so.
Well, that's maybe that's also a question to both of you. I can see in the chat there's some very specific questions coming, and we'll probably get to that. But this more general issue that you're raising here, the fact that you both have a chat function and a phone-in function in the Netherlands then for young adults, that I think before that they were falling in between the gaps, not the child helpline or the adult phone lines. Do you believe, first of all, that there is a need for something specific for this group, so from 18 to 24 or even up to 30 in Finland? And also, do you think it contributes in normalizing, or normalizing is not such a nice word, but making it easier in day-to-day life to talk about something like your mental well-being and how you're feeling, and maybe the taboo of being lonely?
Yeah, I could respond to that. Well, what we see and what we hear is that a lot of youth that is contacting us is that they're telling us, well, I told this maybe before to my friends, but I don't want to bother them all the time because, well, maybe it's not changing that much, and they're having to deal with their own problems. So I don't want to bother them with my problems. Then they call us. And also a lot of people who don't even told it anyone yet. So it's, there is a big gap and a big, how do you say, well, they really need to tell somebody. And an anonymous way is, a lot of easier than telling it someone in your direct environment, I think.
I agree that it's so similar in Finland. This is, it's the same thing. It's that they don't want to bother their parents. They want to bother their friends, and then they come to chat us because they can trust that there is somebody there reaching and listening and taking my pain away.
And it's not that we say, so don't ever tell anybody, only come by us. But it is a first step, and it makes them aware of how they give words to their feelings and how they, what might possibly be a solution for their problems, and taking a first step to tell someone about that they're having suicidal thoughts, for example, or that they're just not feeling well, or that they don't know how to make a choice in studies or something. So they practice it with us, and then they go to their environment if they're ready for it. That's the way that I see our job.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly that way.
There's a question coming up in the chat from Yamuna, because do you facilitate it in some way? So is there also an option that the young people can chat with each other, or is it all
the group chatting?
We have chatting. Can you tell something about that?
I think it's 5. It depends how much we have the workers who can open the the group chat, but it is Monday to Friday. I don't remember, is it three times a week open or 4 times, but we have the options. It's different. When our thought is that when they are lying and the line is like every day from when we open at the morning, there are the amount of youngsters, and when we're closed at noon, there are amount of youngsters, so they can chat each others, and there is one of us chatting with them, and they are supporting. They are so kind, the young people, and when they are supporting each others, and they can say, "Oh, I feel that same," but it's. I can't explain it, but they are so kind when they can chat each others and support each others feeling bad and all the situations.
And they do this anonymously, I assume, that they chat with each other and help each other.
It's like the same. And then what I explained in the gaming Discord, that because they can support each other because they know, oh, I know what you're feeling. that's they don't say that, but it's like in the but they say it in other words, but that's what they are saying. I can feel you. I can feel your pain.
Yeah,
I'm in the same situation.
Creating the peer support. Yeah, creating the peer support.
Yeah,
maybe because somebody here is asking a very specific question in the chat, Sophie. Let me see. It's about: do you see an increase of reporting of online problems because of, during the Corona times? Maybe that is a specific question to the Dutch situation, but have you seen more young people contacting you about cyberbullying or hate speech? Has that increased during Corona time?
I don't know. I don't. I think, yeah, of course, bullying is not. It's a big problem here in Finland. In the schools, we do what we can, but it's still huge. So when the schools are closed, then I think they are bullying in the online. That's what I thought, that it's going, the hate speech. Yeah, it's in online. It's when I talk about the season three about the mental serious or confused, that the racism was the main thing, because that's the thing. The hate speech, every hate speech, it's hitting with some individual who is the immigrant's son, who is the immigrant. So I think it's increased, but I don't have an exactly answer to that. That's my thought.
Yeah. We're getting a little bit to the end of our time, but and there is one question here, and I think it often gets asked in the Netherlands when we talk about these very low threshold services. And maybe Dominique, you can also say something about it. It is about the connection. If young people contact you, do you have a way to refer them when, for example, you believe the chat is not enough? Or is that something you're aiming for, or you're doing something else? But I think this relationship, especially because we're talking about mental health here in the Netherlands, it's often made the connection with a mental health professional. Is that what you do at Zekersin, or do you have other options to refer them to?
Yes and no, because we are a small country. The population is small. We are. It's so different in Helsinki that we can tell them that, hey, there is the option where you can, from when we not chatting anymore. But in Lapland, in the east of Finland, it's not so easy. When you are Googling and you are, there is no place where what I can say to the youngster that go there, because there are no places where they can go. We have trying some kind of cooperator with our Kela system. I cannot now explain what it is, but we are online trying to get them to their line, and so we are thinking about these kind of things, and I think it's future thing also that we can translate how it's said, that we can the other place who have something more to offer there, that we can take it in the online also, but it's difficult.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're getting to the last seconds of our session. I think it's been extremely interesting, Miguel. I really would like to thank you, but I also would like to thank you, Dominique. And I think, Miguel, your contacts will remain at the site of the Voor de Jeugddag. So I am sure there might be people here in the Netherlands who would like to more, and they probably will contact you. But for now, I would like to thank you both, and also the audience. Thank you.
Thanks.